Hi everyone, and welcome to another show of Baba TV. Now, since our last show, some people have written and said, why do you call yourselves Baba TV? You're not a TV show. And someone said, even if people watch you, they're probably going to watch you on a computer or a smartphone or a wristwatch or a device, almost anything except a TV. Well, that's a good question. And the simple answer is, we couldn't think of a better name. But I'm sure you can. So if you can, write us at babazoom777@gmail.com and give us your suggestion, and if the staff here at Baba Studios likes it, we will then rename ourselves whatever your suggestion is. Which I guess makes this show pretty special, kind of a collector's item, because this might be the last show ever aired on Baba TV. But it's special for another reason. You know, we like to do virtual tours of places Baba has visited. And today we're going to take you somewhere where I suspect almost none of you have ever been. A place Baba visited on his way to California in 1952. But we're going to take you to another place, and it's special because it's possible Baba didn't go there. Although the locals are pretty sure this is the place where they stopped to have lunch when they stopped in Brevard. Anyway, without further ado, here's our virtual tour of two places Baba stopped at or may have stopped at in 1952. Baba left Myrtle Beach on May 20th in two cars, Elizabeth's Nash, and also a second car, a slightly older Rambler, which may have looked like this one, which Sarosh drove. Baba's car, with Elizabeth driving, and Mara, Money, and Meru went first, and Sarosh followed, with Goher, Kitty, and Delia. We don't know the exact route, but we know they went through Conway and Sumter, and they spent the night in Columbia. The next day, they drove through Lawrence. When they reached Lawrence, they had to wait because Sarosh's car had fallen behind. Baba was not pleased. And the same thing happened at Greenville, where again Sarosh had fallen behind and had to search for Baba's car. From there, they went to Caesar's Head. Caesar's Head is a scenic lookout in the Blue Ridge Mountains. And here they're in the parking lot, and they would have walked from there to one of the two scenic vistas. This is one of them. Whoops. Magic of video editing, I was able to write that. It's a long walk down to the lookout. We'll speed it up a little bit. There are two lookouts. We don't know which one Baba went to. Maybe went to both. But since we're going to both, we'll definitely be at one of the ones that Baba went to with the women and Sarosh. And here we are. It's quite a nice view, especially after drab, dry, dirty, dusty Ahmednagar. But it might have reminded the women of Mahabaleshwar. And now we're going to the second overlook. So now we know we've gone to both, so that Baba must have gone to one of these. A little bit like Arthur's Seat. Unfortunately, they didn't have Baba pose in front of the railing. And after this view, they went a little further north to Brevard, where they stopped for lunch. And that's where the next part of the tour will take us. Now, we don't know for sure that they stopped at Varner's, but that was the only drugstore, corner drugstore in town, and seems very likely. And Varner's was famous for its hot dogs. Here we are, many years later, modern downtown, and this is what it looked like 10 years before Baba and company came. Now, I don't know, but my guess is that Baba and Elizabeth and Mara stayed in the car, and only Meru and Money went in to get food, hot dogs, ham sandwiches, and cake, to take back to the car for a picnic later on. Money had read about hot dogs and was eager to try them. And this is where the following story took place.
They stopped for lunch at a drugstore and sat at the counter, Meru next to Monty. After looking at the menu, they ordered hot dogs. The waitress said to Monty, "Do you want everything all the way up, darling?" Monty did not understand and thought she was being asked to pay for everyone at the counter. The waitress treated her as if she were deaf and repeated louder, "Do you want that all the way up?" Meru finally explained, "She means, do you want your hot dog with onions, mustard, chili, everything on it?" "Oh, yes," said Monty, who liked her food well seasoned. "As far up as you can go."
And there we have it. As far up as you can go.
Nothing but blue skies.
Well, I suspect very few have ever been to Caesar's Head. But if you're ever passing through Brevard, although looking at a map, I'm not quite sure why you would be, you can still stop at Rocky's and have a hot dog all the way up. Although I'm not sure they use that term anymore. You know, since this show is being filmed and I hope aired in July, we thought we might spend a few moments thinking, reflecting on Baba's silence, what it means. Is he going to break it? Has he broken it? What does it mean that he will break it? I know a lot of people in the Baba world, or at least the older people, and by the way, when someone suggested that we shouldn't call ourselves Baba TV, they thought the name Old White Men Thinking About Baba might be more apt. Well, that could be true, but we'd like to avoid that title. So if you're in the younger generation, we urge you, please send something in, contribute, send in a video clip, send in a song, send in a poem, or do a guest editorial, as we're about to have, because we don't feel we can talk about Baba's silence, but Emily Patella has strong views on the subject, and she is going to share them with you now, and we hope this might help clarify your own thinking if you've ever given the subject any thought.
Yes. Someone came up to me just the other day and asked me if I thought Baba was going to break his science. But I said, why would Baba want to break his science? Science is good. Baba used it all the time. Sure, he rode in bullock carts, but he also traveled around the world in ocean liners and airplanes. And he let people take photographs of him and movies. You can go online and see videos of Baba's Mandalay telling stories about Baba, or download PDFs of Baba's Discourses. None of this would be possible without science. So why are some people hoping Baba will break his science? Do they want to go back to the Dark Ages? Should we be terrified of an eclipse? If you're sick, do you want to put leeches all over your body instead of taking an aspirin? It's outrageous.
Emily.
Yes?
Baba's silence, not science.
Oh, never mind.
Well, I don't know if that helped clarify anyone's thinking about Baba's silence, but we thank Emily Patel for her contribution nonetheless. You know, with the benefit of hindsight and all these years when Baba kept promising to break his silence, a lot of people have come to the conclusion that Baba was never really serious about breaking his silence all those times. And even in 1932, when Baba announced he was going to break his silence in the Hollywood Bowl, his brother Audie Jr., who came to America with Baba, at one point said, "Baba, why are you doing this? You know you're not going to break your silence." Well, that may be. We don't know what Baba's intent was. But we do know that a lot of people at the time took it very seriously. And in fact, this is proven by the fact of a newsreel that was made in 1932 that our research department found, uncovered actually, in an old dusty closet in Paramount Studios. It's a newsreel that was made in 1932, preparatory to Baba breaking his silence. And we thought it was fascinating. So we are now going to show it to you, unedited, uncut, in its entirety. A first for Baba TV.
Sri Meher Baba, hailed as the Silent Messiah, arrived in New York on May 19th and left within a week to where else but Hollywood, California. Don't we wish we could go? This was not just a sightseeing trip for Sri Meher Baba, who has not said a word in 7 years. Rather, this is a trip with a purpose, for Baba, as his followers refer to him, has announced that while he is in Hollywood, he intends to break his silence and speak the word which he claims the world has been waiting to hear. Baba, looking dapper in his Western clothes, was greeted with enthusiasm by the royalty of Hollywood.
Sinbad the Sailor.
It's so blue you want to dive into it and never come up. That's what I want to say.
Baba says this speaking will have far-reaching significance, not just for Hollywood, but the entire world. This news has been met with skepticism by some, but in a country still suffering from the effects of the Depression, it has been enough to cause others to break out in a dance. Some question whether a spiritual figure of Mayor Baba's stature would really break his silence in the Hollywood Bowl. But his women disciples obviously believe it, as they are seen here in their new realization dresses, which they purchased after attending Hollywood fashion shows. The day chosen for this momentous event is rapidly approaching. Meanwhile, Baba has sailed off for important work in China, vowing to be back in time to break his silence on the 13th. Luckily, the 13th is not on a Friday this year, but a Monday. We can't wait.
Well, we thought that was fascinating. And you can see the video was never finished. We think because Baba didn't come back from Japan and didn't break his silence. And this was the first time it's ever been seen as far as we know. What a coup for Baba TV. Now, changing the subject, or at least the tenor and tone of the show so far, we're going to show you a Baba music video featuring a wonderful song by Jamie Newell called Carry Me Home, with accompanying visuals supplied by the Baba Studio visual design department. And we hope you enjoy it.
I was out walking in the night when I saw there before me a bottle of your vintage wine, labeled for lovers only. I held it to my lip, and as I took one sip, slowly I felt my mind losing its grip. I started singing, oh May, I've been drinking all night long. Oh May, and now I cannot go on. Oh May, won't you carry me? Won't you carry me home? That I could easily become your lover, but now I've grown so drunk, you see, I'm afraid I may fall over. The stars all wink at me, they're laughing just to see this drunken fool with his drunken plea, singing, oh May, I've been drinking all night long. Oh May, and now I cannot go on. Oh May, won't you carry me? Won't you carry me home? grown so late, I think there's no way of winning. For I have had so much to drink that my head is spinning. You've tricked me into this state of drunkenness. So won't you take me home now and seal it with a kiss? Singing, oh May, hey, I've been drinking all night long. Oh May, hey, and now I cannot go on. Oh May, hey, won't you carry me? Won't you carry me home? Won't you carry me? Won't you carry me home? Oh, won't you carry me home?
Well, with luck, maybe someday we'll be drunk enough that we can truly find our way home. Okay. We know what this is. Yeah. Uh-huh. It looked pretty good to me. Can we say maybe? Okay. No, I understand. No, I'll do it. Absolutely. Okay, bye-bye. Well, that was one of the lawyers from the legal department who have been talking to the research department here at Baba Studios. And he was pretty hot and bothered. He says that it's my legal duty to state unequivocally that, according to the research department, they not only have doubts about that newsreel we showed earlier, but they are 100% certain that it's not authentic. And the lawyer impressed upon me that I have to tell all of you that that newsreel is most definitely a fake. Well, something that isn't a fake, though, is a note we got from one of our listeners after the last show. As you know, we've just had Silence Day, and many people around the world keep silent. And some people also write notes as a way to communicate. And sometimes these notes are of deep spiritual encouragement and significance. And this person who wrote us said he thought his was probably the most spiritual note that anyone received on Silence Day. And what it was, in all caps, in its entirety, was this: don't leave the garbage on the kitchen floor, it leaks. And I think that's probably pretty good, and we decided that beat out the runner-up, which was, what happened to the last piece of chocolate cake? If you have a note of great spiritual import that you received on Silence Day, or if you have an amusing blunder that happened, send it in to us, and maybe we'll put it on the air for the next show. And speaking of the next show, here's something we did that we want to show you and encourage you to send in submissions. We thought it'd be fun to have Begin the Beginning sung by different people all around the world. So what we did is we put out the first two lines, and we had different people sing it, and we cut and paste it, and we put it together. And here it is for you to look at.
When they begin,
it brings back the sound of music so tender. It brings back a night of tropical splendor. It brings back a memory
evergreen.
So we thought that worked out pretty well, and we'd like to continue with the next two lines, beginning with I'm with you once more, under the stars, going down to when they begin the beginning. So if you want to sing those two lines and send them in to us, anyone who can sing, and I think it would still be actually pretty nice even if we get some people who can't sing. If you do just those two lines and send it to us, that's short enough, we found, that you can do that as an email attachment. So just sing those two lines and send them in to us to babazoom777@gmail.com. And for those of you who are musicians, it might help to know that the first part of the song, first lines, we're done in B flat. So if you can sing the next two lines in B flat or some equivalent thereof, I have no idea what singing in a certain key means, send them in to us. And now, well, we know what that means. That means it's time for Baba Game. So without further ado, let's call up our next contestant.
Hi, Steve.
Is this Karen Bramlett?
This is Karen Bramlett from Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, I was just about to ask you where you were from because my executive producer has given me some notes here.
Oh.
It says you're from Atlanta, so he was right there. Uh-huh. It also says the handwriting's a little obscure that you're an abomination. What's that about?
Yes, I am an abomination, but Baba loves me anyway. But I think what you might be referring to is my, when I used to moonlight as an abominette with the Marching Abominables when I was 20 years old.
And what would you do? You would go up to the mountains where it's snowing and march as abominables?
No. So this is Kelly Seed and Feed Theater, and we had a marching band, and everybody who was in the marching band played an instrument, of course. But my friend Peaches and I did not play a musical instrument, but we did not want to be left out, because what the band would do is the band would sort of show up unannounced and unexpected in a neighborhood on a Friday night, march through the neighborhood playing all these songs and having a fun time. So we wanted to go too. So I was on the drill team in high school. So I got out my big white boots with the pom-poms, and I got her a pair. And we made little sparkly tops and little skirts with fringe on them. And we marched along and danced with the band and entertain the crowd.
I tell you what, if you win this quiz, we'll let you dress up in your costume and video yourself, and we'll show it around the world.
Yeah, I'm going to say if that's the prize, then I'm definitely not going to win.
No,
I'll make sure I lose.
You know how the game is played, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'm going to read you a quote.
And I only get one chance, right?
Well, no, if you get it right, then you can go on getting the second question.
Oh, I think it should be the best 2 out of 3.
Well, we'll see how you do.
I take umbrage with this game.
Okay, well, here we go.
All right.
Here's a quote from the Discourses.
Yes.
The objective of spiritual advancement is not so much, quote, works, unquote, but, okay, that's the opening. The objective of spiritual advancement is not so much works, but play in the highest sense. That's number 1. Number 2, the quality of life free from ego consciousness. That's 2. Or 3, the attainment of God realization.
Ooh, now say the beginning again.
The objective of spiritual advancement is not so much works, but...
C.
Okay, well, I gave you 1, 2, or 3, but quickly translating, I'm assuming you mean number 3, which is the attainment of God realization. Well, I don't think you have to worry about your little pom-poms in your outfit, because I'm sorry, Miss Bramlett, you did not win.
What is it?
Well, it's actually the quality of life free from ego consciousness.
Clearly, I'm not there.
Well, how about this? I'll give you a bonus question just so you can feel good.
Ooh, okay, make it easy.
As long as the person is turned toward the sun and is trying to walk into the light, the shadows that encircle him cannot be, and now here are your 3 choices.
That was pretty. Read that again.
As long as the person is turned towards the sun and is trying to walk into the light, the shadows that encircle him cannot be, and here are your three choices. Seen by that person, that's number one. 2, a serious handicap to his emancipation, that's 2. And 3, said to have any meaningful existence.
This is from the Discourses?
Yes.
So tell me the 1, 2, and 3
As
again.
long as the person is turned towards the sun and is trying to walk into the light, the shadows that encircle him cannot be seen by that person, cannot be a serious handicap to his emancipation, or cannot be said to have any meaningful existence.
All right. I'm going to go with 3 again just because I like that.
Well, you're consistent at least. I'm sorry, we went out of our way to try and help you.
We did. And I appreciate that. I will humbly leave.
We gave you a chance.
You did. I appreciate
I think you're just going to have to get those boots out of the closet and start
So
marching through the streets.
Which one was it?
Oh, good. Good question. Serious handicap to his emancipation.
Oh, and I ruled that one out because I said Baba's not going to use the word emancipation. What do I know? All right. Well, thank you so much for letting me play.
Yeah.
And keeping me humble.
I tell you what we'll do. We'll take your name that we took out of the hat and we'll put it in a different hat for the consolation prize so that you can play later on.
I deserve that.
I think so. Okay.
I'm a good person.
Well, you're a good person. You're not very, knowledgeable about the discourses, but you're a good person. Baba never said you had to read the discourses.
That's right. Thank God.
Okay, anyway, thank you very much. Now, in case anyone's curious, the questions I asked Karen came from the Types of Meditation, Part 2, and the Dynamics of Spiritual Advancement. It's too bad Karen didn't get a prize. And speaking of prizes, we had that contest earlier from asking people to guess how many book titles were in Mark and Lisa's song, Listen Humanity. And we had several people write in with the answer of 30, which is, in a way, correct. There were 30 titles. But it's kind of a trick question because 2 of the titles, Sparks and Glow, technically were not books. One's a pamphlet and one's a magazine. But we're going to give a prize anyway. So our first prize was going to be a free trip to Myrtle Beach or Avatar's Abode or Amanugger, thanks to a travel agent friend of ours. But due to COVID restrictions, we can't do that. So as a consolation prize, if any of the winners, and you know who you are, I won't list you all, because in fact I've forgotten that list and it's in my computer somewhere and I don't have it before me. But if the winners ever find themselves in Springfield, New Hampshire, they are entitled to a free pass of Baba Studios. Now, moving along, you may have noticed that we've had some glitches in this program. Had glitches in the last program, had some glitches in this program. And that's due, of course, somewhat to my incompetence, but it's also due to the rather obsolete, inadequate equipment we have. So, in order to upgrade Baba Studios, we've decided to allow commercial sponsorship in this program. So we are happy now and pleased to show you our first sponsor, Sanskaric Sanitizer.
Lately, a lot of you have been telling me that you've been using hand sanitizer, and I'm sure it's kept you safe from COVID-19. But at the end of the day, has it helped you progress on the spiritual path? And after all, isn't that what's really important? What you need is Sanskaric Sanitizer, the only cleanser that brings you closer to God. Studies have shown that Sanskaric Sanitizer can remove up to 99.9% of all common household sanskaras. You've probably tried repeating God's name, meditation, prayer, and on, only to see those embarrassing sanskaras reappear. 9 out of 10 yogis say that Sanskaric Sanitizer is the greatest spiritual breakthrough since yak butter. So get Sanskaric Sanitizer, the only cleanser that brings you closer to God. Only $9.95 plus $56 shipping and handling. Order today and receive absolutely free the deluxe Sanskaric Sanitizer applicator brush. This offer void where prohibited by Maya.
Sounds good to me. And
welcome to my world.
Well, you know what that means. It's time for our Hello Clips.
Hi, I'm Kendra, and I currently stay on Mayor Road, right next to Avatar's abode.
Hi, this is Jim Whedon from Whittier, California.
Everyone, Jai Meher Baba.
This is Villain Diana LePage from Avatar's Abode, Australia.
Hi, Jai Baba. This is Jean from Merabad, thinking of you. Jai Baba.
Hi, it's Kristen and Charlie Keeler
in Brooklyn, Maine.
Jai Baba to the Baba TV world.
Here, Merabad is lush and beautiful and green and saturated in Meher Baba's love.
Jai Baba.
This is Jethro. Jethro's here at Avatar's Abode, and here's Reg Love in his habitat in the Avatar's Abode Library.
Hello and Jai Baba.
Hello, hello, hello. Just making sure everything is shipshape in Baba's great disc of love.
Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. This is Sunil Wagmare from Trust Office, Ahmednagar, India. Jai Baba.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again. Happy trails to you till we meet
Hi folks, this is Jamie Kean from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Recently, the producers of Baba TV, aka Steve Klein, contacted me and asked me if I would be willing to submit a testimonial about how great the show is. The producers are concerned that their audience consists almost completely of people born before 1950, and they thought I might be able to lure some younger viewers into watching the show. So I said sure, as long as I'm allowed to be honest. On the other hand, Baba didn't want us to hurt the heart of another, which makes this endorsement tricky. I would rather watch Baba TV than eat a raw potato, take my dog to the vet for more gastrointestinal issues, not sleep all night for no reason and end up deep cleaning under my sink, do my taxes twice, discover a family of slugs in my sock drawer, and the DMV. So I hope that this more than fulfills his requirements so that he stops emailing me 4 or 5 times a day. And I hope it convinces anyone who sees it to give Baba TV a chance. And if you don't like what you see, then send in a video clip of your own to help make the show watchable. Thank you very much, Jai Baba.